everyone, welcome to episode 52 of the My Two Tips podcast. My name is Elise and I'm your host. Yay. So I'm trying to keep on a schedule. I have some time today. I don't have too many things to talk about because one of my recent knits is a test knit. Sorry, there's somebody that lives very close to us has a crazy tendency to blast music. I have no idea if the camera's going to be picking up that noise or not, but it is so irritating because we'll even be sitting watching TV at night, like watching MasterChef or something, and boom, 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 over our TV. It's like, are you really? Is it necessary? Apartment living. So much fun. So yes, let's get into it. I have two finished objects to show you today. This is the first one. So I believe I showed you last time that I was working on this. This is the Mira top. It's by the brown stitch, who is Elizabeth. Oh dear, now I can't remember. However, I didn't knit it out of the yarn called for in the pattern. I picked up some blue sky alpaca. No, I always say blue sky alpaca. I don't know why, but it just kind of comes out that way. So I picked up the organic cotton worsted from Blue Sky Fibres, and there is 150 yards for 100 grams. I bought 5, and I used 4. So this is a completely, technically this was the swatch skein. I ripped it out. I think I'll probably use it for a hat. A cotton hat doesn't sound like the worst idea to me, and I have used before, which I guess is from the same umbrella company, the, oh, what's the name of it now? Spud and Chloe sweater, which is like a 50-50 wool cotton, and I have a hat out of that I absolutely love. So I'm thinking, why not just knit up a very fun 100% cotton? Why not? Try it out. See what happens. But yeah, and the colorway I have of this is bone. Sorry. Really liked it. Knitting with this stuff was really nice. It's so soft. It's a very mild twist to it, so you're not fighting with a twist of the cotton or anything. It just worked very well. I did knit it on, oh goodness, is it a 6mm needle? It's like a US 10, I think, or 9, somewhere in there, for when I was knitting in the round. And then my gauge was a little different when I had to knit it flat, kind of after the armholes. So I went up half a needle size, which is suggested on the Quince & Co. I think it was the blog. They had a post about knitting with linen, which this calls for linen in the original pattern. So I was like, let's try that out. Why not? Because we all know that gauge can change quite a bit between in round and flat. So this time I kind of followed the rules. It worked out really well. Really, really well. The fabric it's loose, it's drapey. It is a little warm. I thought it wouldn't be as warm, but it's also getting warmer here temperature wise, and out here in BC, West Coast Canada, it's not as hot in the summer and spring as it gets in Ontario where I grew up, but my body has a horrible time when it comes to adjusting to very quick temperature changes. Humidity and my body don't get along anymore. So whatever, we'll see how it goes. But I really enjoy wearing this over, like today I just have like a thicker tank top, like strap tank top on underneath. I would wear it with like an even, like a spaghetti strap tank top. I'd probably wear it with just a bra underneath, depending on like where I'm going per se. It is fairly cropped, but mine is probably slightly longer than the pattern called for. There's tons of positive ease in it, which is something that I wanted. I didn't knit the little sleeves as long because I find with a drop shoulder pattern, depending on which size I choose to knit and how much ease I put into the pattern, by the time I've gotten to pick up the sleeves, they're already sitting at like a short sleeve length anyway, so I don't really need to do a whole lot. And it always ends up tightening the arms and like the fit that much more. So it's worth doing a little bit, but I didn't want it to come down very far. I think they tell you to knit, I don't know, 2 inches or something, and I did maybe 5 rounds, so very highly adaptable. I would highly recommend the pattern. It's great. I learned the slope bind off for the neckline, which worked out well. Took a little bit of thinking because I'd never done one before, and just the way that it's written out is a little, like, it makes sense, but it takes your head to kind of just wrap your head around it a little bit. But it worked well enough. I think I did it the way it's supposed to be done. And I would really like to knit another one in the yarn it's called for, which is the Kestrel from Quince & Co, which is like their thicker linen weight. That's like chain plied, I guess, or chainette yarn. I think it would be a very different feel and possibly a different vibe to the sweater, because linen tends to have that little bit of a sheen to it. So I think it could look maybe slightly dressier. This is a very casual look, I find. But I like it. So that's my first one that I finished. And then I think I had started this last time, and I had cast on the Nerida shawl from Amber O'Brien, and I was probably somewhere in here. So needless to say, addictive knit, and I finished all of these stripes, which is your first and second increase section, and then you can see I went into the lace, which is your third increase section. It goes for a while. This thing is long. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and then you start decreasing, and then you keep decreasing, bring the stripes back, and then you switch colors to do some more lace, and then it's finally done. So I finished this thing, and I am so in love with it. I feel like the colors, as much as I do love a burgundy, there's something about this colorway that is the Maz colorway from Boss Lady Yarn Co. The amount of yellow in here, which sounds really ridiculous, I feel has pushed this shawl into like a different color boundary for me, which it sounds ridiculous because I recently finished a yellow sweater. And then one of my favorite shawls is my Cameo, which is like half yellow, half white. I think it's the tone of the yellow that makes it feel like it's so out of my regular comfort zone. And I love how I chose to do the stripes in the higher contrast and have my variegated skein as the lace sections, because this way you get to really see how the colors play out. It is long. I haven't measured it because part of me doesn't want to know how long it is, but I mean, if you want to be super bundled up and wrap it around like pretty tight, that was what, 4 5 wraps around. I have no idea. Didn't count, clearly. But it's, because it's knit in a single ply yarn. Ugh, hold on. One thing with shawls and scarves, sometimes I kind of feel like this is almost more scarf territory because it's thinner and like hill long. Is I find like, because I tend to wear them this kind of style, however, whatever we call this, wrapped around, I find if I need to take it off quickly, I feel like I'm choking myself half the time, which, whatever. But I absolutely love it. It's light and it actually feels kind of like cool against my skin when I first put it on, which I really, really like. And it's super fun. It takes more yarn. Well, technically I did a few different things. So on the opposite end, this end, when I did the second increase section before the lace, I had kind of knit too far. And so I had more stitches on the needle, which is totally fine. The pattern itself is easy, it's simple. You know, you're increasing by a minimal amount of stitches every repeat. It's not crazy. So I was like, oh, it should work out as long as I have the same either even or odd number of stitches, should be fine. Which technically it was. However, I was 1 stitch short before starting the lace section. So what I did is I just did an extra knit front back, but where I did it caused it to be, so there's a center spine that runs all the way up, kind of where you see the angle in there. So in through the beginning section, all through here up until like the lace, it starts up there, there's supposed to be, I believe, 31 stitches. Once I get into the lace, I have 32 until the end, until you end up like decreasing past 31. However, it also caused me to have to do the lace just slightly differently. Like rather than ending the row right with like a knit 2 together, yarn over kind of thing, I ended up having to knit an extra stitch. Not a big deal. It's totally fine. I think it looks the same. The shape is pretty much the exact same, except my small side on the side of the spine is 1 stitch wider. Not a big deal. But because of that, I think I used a slightly bit more yardage, which not a big deal. I ended up having yarn left over. I think I have 10 or 11 grams left over of the lace color, so that would be something just to make sure. You want to have a full skein for sure of your main color, but then my other 2 colors, I think I had like 38 and 39 grams left over. So you're not using the full skein, but you're definitely using more than half. Just something to keep in mind. I think I knit it on like a probably a 4mm needle. I can't remember. It's on my project page, I'm pretty sure. But it was enjoyable. And it went kind of into that addictive knit space where you're like, okay, so I'm supposed to get to X amount of stitches before I start the next section. How many am I at now? Ooh, that means I only have to do like 8 more repeats. Like, and you want to get, I find when I'm knitting, I want to get to that next step or that next section, because if I have to put it down and maybe not get to it for like a day, I want to know that like I finished something and I'm picking up from kind of a fresh spot. It sits well with my brain. I'm not kind of leaving it going, oh no. did I finish that section? Where am I? Like, I just know when I walk away, that's it. It's the next section can start. So not bad. Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. Probably leave it on for the rest of this unless it plays funny with the color. Actually, let's just take it off. Like, yeah. So it's super long, which is fun. And I think a lot of Amba's patterns have this kind of shape to them, so I might try playing with the same pattern again, but doing different stripes or less stripes or something. I don't know. But I think it'd be kind of fun to play around with the base of the pattern and just kind of see what you can get. I do also own her Lily Pilly pattern, which I believe is a fairly popular one. It's more of a straight rectangle, which that really gets into scarf territory because you're knitting essentially the same amount of stitches every row. Those tend to take a lot longer. And they kind of get boring because you're just doing the same thing. But we'll see what happens. I haven't really worked on too many things since I've last talked to you that are like new or anything. However, the Shannon Cook TTT cal, tops, tees, and tanks cal, however, tanks, tees, and tops, that would be alphabetical. I don't know. But it started on May 1st, so I just cast this on because I was doing a test knit and then I was working on that shawl. And I didn't want to swatch for anything. I know, I just said that sentence. However, I had previously swatched with this yarn. Don't quite recall what I got gauge-wise, but I have had this yarn for a while. It is Dye Monkey Yarns. Salsa Monkey. It is a single ply fingering weight. Gosh, I am blanking on stuff, but it's a high content of silk and merino, and it is so soft. It's a cherry blossom colorway, which I really like. I think I can wear it well. I've tried to knit it up into a shawl before, and I don't think it was doing the yarn justice. So I've decided to use it for a top because I only have 2 skeins and I kind of want to see how much I can get out of it for a top. So I chose the Heya tank by, I believe it's Kiyomi Burgin, and this is what I have so far. So I recently switched it over to a, what is this, a 16-inch needle. And I think on camera it's showing up slightly brighter. It's a little more like dusty pink, but not like your grandma's dusty pink. So simple knit. It's knit in 2 pieces, bottom up, stockinette, so it's mindless. There's not too many stitches on the needle, but I like the way the color is distributing. I'm not alternating skeins because I figured screw that for this one. One thing I did do different is I added on the bottom 3 rows of seed stitch because I am using a different yarn than in the pattern. I have a feeling I should have done more because it is definitely flipping up right now, but it's also flipping up for a few inches. So I think when I block it, that little bit of seed stitch or moss stitch will just help it kind of lie a little bit better, or at least give it the opportunity. I think right now I'm sitting at around close to 7 inches. It is a cropped top, so I'm debating, doing lots of debating. And I'm wondering if I should knit it at least an inch or two longer, which means then I'm using more yardage than called for the size, and I only have 2 skeins. But it is a V-neck at the front, so it goes into like a wider strap tank. And I'm wondering if I'm going to mimic the same thing on the back. So technically, front and back will be the exact same. Because a V, which has nothing going across the middle, should technically use up less yardage. But I don't know. Part of me is thinking knit, technically I think this is back, knit the back to the desired length in the pattern, start the second one, which would be the front, knit it to the same length, and kind of see what I have yardage left over. A little bit of experimenting with this one, but I think I'm going to follow the pattern pretty closely. Like, I don't think I'm going to do anything drastic. I'm excited to see how it turns out. It's my first time using like a single yarn for any type of garment that's actually like a top. So I'm kind of interested to see what will happen with it. I know it's been very popular with a lot of Caitlin Hunter patterns that are coming out to use a single ply yarn. There's something in the back of my head that just tells me no, don't do it. So this will be a good way to see. And I mean, silk has a fair amount of like durability to it. So I'm thinking I'm kind of cheating slightly because I think this has, I think it's something crazy like 50% silk. I will double check it, but I really like it. I think it's going to be fun if I finish it relatively quickly to wear it in the summer. Yeah. I have not touched socks. I have not want to knit them, so we'll see what happens there. But that's pretty much it that I've been working on. And don't really know what else to talk about. Because I had been on a yarn diet, I figured I would show you what broke the yarn diet. Some of it. I wanted to show you some of the recent purchases I've made. So some of these go back to Fibres West, some of these go back to the other weekend. Here in the Lower Mainland we had the Woolith Fair yarn crawl, which, yeah, I went out and got some stuff. So some have also come to me in the mail. The first thing I want to show you is this really lovely Crafty Jack's boutique yarn. And I realize you can't really see how gorgeous this color is because it just looks like a really dark color. So this is the yarn. It is, oh goodness, 85% Polworth and 15% silk. It's a DK weight. There is 320 yards in 115 gram skein. And I picked up a sweater's quantity of this. So I have my main color, so the most amount of skeins in this navy blue Midnight Shadows colorway. And it's definitely actually matches really well to our couch. So it's like navy blue without being overly bright. Like, it's kind of a dusty navy blue. And then I picked up think just one, possibly two, I don't remember, of this contrast colorway, which is Silver Mist, and it's just like the palest whitey gray. Like it's just, they go so well together. You can't go wrong with a classic white and navy pairing. So I got this. I'm thinking of doing a colorwork yoke sweater. Part of me wants to use the Strange Brew by Tin Can Knits and make my own yoke, possibly using some patterns from the Alternate Stitch Dictionary by Andrea Rangel. We'll see what happens. I still need to swatch with that yarn to begin with, and then just see where the heck we go from there. However, I also really, really want a cardigan. I need another cardigan, and I'm wondering if I'm slightly closer to doing a steek sweater. I have a lot of pullovers, which I love. I enjoy them. I really like knitting a pullover. It's quick. But there's something about the few cardigans that I have knit. I love them. The versatility is great. That I don't want to know. And it's been a while since I've knit a cardigan. So do I want to steek color work card? I don't know. I don't really get excited about knitting a cardigan flat. Takes more time, feels like it takes forever. I don't mind purling. Purling does not bother me, but I don't know. I think the next step for me to take is either pieced. Pieced cardigan just sounds like a lot of work. And then steeking, you just kind of want to do it right. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Another purchase I made. Oh, I guess I didn't even bring any from the yarn crawl out. So whatever. Maybe next time. But I received these skeins in the mail from Squish This Yarns, which is Gina Filio, and she has the Yay cast, and she hasn't posted a video in a while, but the episode she does have out I've really enjoyed watching. And Yay cast is yet another yarn podcast, knitting podcast. I think so, but yet another yarn podcast, I believe. And she's funny. She got into dyeing yarn very quickly, and she has a great color, like, concept eye. It was really great. I entered a giveaway in her giveaway group, in her Ravelry group, for some yarn, because why not? And I think it was, gosh, for some reason we had to post like about a costume we had made, or Halloween, something you had really enjoyed like in the past or present. And I posted a picture, which maybe I'll insert it, of my third year of college, and I went as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. A roommate helped me make my dress. If not, made the whole thing pretty much. We made it a dress. We even made little, it was a little like 6-pack of abs that like we pinned onto the dress that kind of functioned as a pocket. And I went as Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I absolutely loved it. The dress is still at my parents', and I've worn it multiple times. But this is the yarn that I received for that. The darker one is copper, and I think the camera's making it look a little like more vivid than it is. I don't think it's quite that intense in real life. And then the other one is rose gold, and it's stunning. Really, really like them. I love them both. I'm thinking brioche would be great, but I just don't know. So they are 100% superwash merino, and they are a single, and there's 400 yards in there of each. So they're really fun. They're so soft. And the funny thing that I always find with single ply yarns is like when you get them, and even sometimes after you cake them up, there's so many like technically over twisted little like Kinkydoos in there, which is just kind of, I don't know, I think it might bug some people. I kind of like it. It's like personality. So I got those guys. A while ago, now I'm forgetting her name. I believe it's Sarah. Why am I so horrible at names? But she had posted that she was dyeing some yarn, I believe, for either the Edmonton Fiber Frolic or another one that they have over in Alberta. And this is, shoot, the colorway's not on here, Coffee and Pop-Tarts from Bunny and Toot. And I had to have it. It is Gilmore Girls inspired, and yeah, had to have it. It is also on a 75-25 superwash merino nylon base, and I love it. I can't even, I don't know what I want it to be. I kind of want it to be like a really fun scarf with something else, but I'm also thinking socks would be really, really fun. Really like it. Really, really like it. And there's her little holographic like bunny sticker on there. Her the Bunny and Toot label, brand, all of her stuff is just so on point. She has found her look, which I just can't get enough of. So I'm sure we'll see more of her stuff in the future. And then, because sometimes you just have to get things because you do. And Jenny posted that she was having an update, and I missed the update. And then I saw her post like reminding me of her Elise colorway. I had to have it. It's got my name on it. I have to do that. So it is the palest like minty green, almost with some like blue little like areas in there too. They're like the softest blue with these fun little speckles. There's some dark green, there's like burgundy in there. I think I saw some brown maybe. Yep, a little bit of brown. I really like it. I wouldn't say it is like my go-to colorway. However, if you guys remember a long time ago, I bought another colorway from Baron Villa, and it was the For Elise colorway, and it's also like a minty green base. So maybe mint green is like me in some way. Spunky. I don't know. Something. And I did get two. So I did get two because, you know, you only live once. And I figured this could be really fun in some two-color brioche. And I want to do, I think, the square version of the Sizzle Pop shawl with this as the main color. I have no idea what to pair it with. I would also need two skeins, so I'm keeping my eyes open for something out in the world. my gut tells me to pair it with gray, because I think it'd be really, really pretty. But I also think pairing it with something a little punchier might be fun. If you have any thoughts on the matter, let me know. I really like Robin's Egg blue. Might also work really, really well and kind of emphasize that there's blue in this colorway. I really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. But the construction is getting super loud out there. I'm gonna wrap this up. If you want to get in touch with me for any reason, you can find me on Ravelry as Egarnier. Put it up here. Instagram is also very easy, which I am E_Garnier. Feel free to follow me, whatever. Message me if you need to talk to me about something or have a question. We also have the Ravelry group, which is the My Two Tips podcast, and yeah, shoot me a question, let me know. If you have something you need to let me know, let me know. And I'm thinking we probably should start a cal fairly soon, so a knit along of some sort. If you have any ideas, let me know. We'll see what kind of things we can stem up. I wish you well. Yeah. We'll see you later, guys. Bye. That I would show you guys, and I don't like saying you guys,